the website, or Josh can put that in the chat. These calls are live streamed on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, and they're also turned into audio podcasts, which are on my website and on my channel, which I think is The Big Joel Show on YouTube. If you want to rewatch or watch or whatever, if there's good stuff in there. On that side note, last call 2 weeks ago, I got a lot of great feedback on, and you might want to check that one out if you missed it. That was John Palmiato 2 weeks ago. There was a lot of really, really good stuff in there. Okay, welcome. I'm Joel. For those of you that are new to the call, I really don't look at the chat because I have too many people on here. If you do put something in the chat, there's a chance Josh may see it. But if I ignore you in the chat, please don't take it personally, but I'm trying to talk to everyone, and I'm trying to talk to Brian Manning at the same time. So, the market is mildly interesting right now. I think there's still a fair amount of high-pitched whining going on regarding inventory and production. I can tell you that for me, and the people that I'm blessed to work with very closely, everybody is pretty busy and picking up steam across all markets. I think with the exception of maybe one or two people, one of them was just on here, but he disappeared. Even with what I'll call lower inventory, the inventory is coming on, it's going off. Of course, our people are ready with fully docked files. We can close fast, obviously with the exception of New York, which you can't do anything fast there in the mortgage business or the real estate business. But every other state, closing fast is what it's all about. I just want to tell you real quick before I start talking with Brian, the best way to beat back what I would call predatory lending rates is with speed. It is literally the only and best way. So, if you are not taking loan applications, completing them upfront, doing all your work so you can close fast, you are on the wrong train, or you are on the wrong subway, or you're on the wrong vehicle, because the best loan officers in the country are having their agent partners write really fast closes so they can jam them through. Obviously, I'm not crazy. I do know that when it's predatory. And the good news or the bad news is nothing that good lasts for that long ever. And as soon as investors fill up, especially small banks and credit unions, they do have laws pertaining to them based on their assets versus how many loans they can close. And amazingly enough, those of us that have been around a long time have seen, a bank rate pop up 0.5%, in one day at small banks as they completely fill their coffers with loans. Again, this is a ground and pound grind market. That's why I love having Brian Manning on, one of the ultimate grinders. You guys have heard this. You guys have heard me say this many times. When people go through crush groups or work with me one-on-one, I always say, if you just do about 30% of what I'm saying, you're probably going to double your business in a year. Brian Manning is one of those do everything guys and do it well and really implement it and really works hard and is a grinder. And I love having Brian on right now, because if you're not grinding in this market, you're going to get left behind. And last 2 weeks ago, Brian, I'll share this with you. We might have talked about this when we were on the phone a couple of days ago or whatever. John Palmiato said, he goes, "Hey, people, if you think these big dogs are slowing down, you're crazy. You have to work even harder because these big guys want to take market share." And Brian Manning, who lives in Boulder, Colorado, and works for Cross Country Mortgage, is one of those guys that will gladly take your agent relationship and smile while doing it. Meaning he's got no problem making phone calls on Saturday and Sunday to take your business, because that's the kind of market that we're in right now. And Brian, it was kind of funny, John said it sort of fast, and I don't know if everybody completely embraced it, but I mean, I knew exactly what he was talking about. That like, hey, these guys, they're doing 10 million a month. Yeah, they want to do 12. They're not okay with doing 10. They're doing 12. They want to do 16. So Brian, you've been in the business how long? It's a long time, right?
I started in 98.
98. And Brian, when did you move to Boulder? When did you make the move official?
Yeah, July will be 11 years.
So, everyone, this is interesting too for Brian because he started his career in Florida and
Yep.
then picked up and moved to Boulder 11 years. Granted, yes, he's been in the business in Boulder 11 years, but this is a market move guy. This isn't a guy that's been in one market, dominating that market forever. So he had a ton of work to do. And those of you that haven't been to Boulder, obviously everyone knows about Boulder because of University of Colorado, but Boulder is not the biggest town. I mean, it's not the biggest place. So, obviously, Brian, you had a lot of ground and pound just to break in there as a Florida guy, right?
It's true. Yeah, it took relentless work for sure.
Yeah. So, I asked Brian a couple, 2 or 3 days ago, we were on the phone. No, actually, I texted him because I saw him put something on Facebook or something. I said, hey, are you doing something, I said, on Saturday and Sunday and whatever. And his response very quickly was, I forget what I was asking Brian. Was it CC calls or something? What was I asking you?
Yeah, it was CC calls.
Yeah. And Brian went into this whole monologue about how productive the weekends have been. And, Brian, share with everyone. I know you pivoted. Was it basically January or was it December? When did you pivot and start saying, wow, I'm able to be way more productive on a Saturday? Talk about that a little bit, because I want to just talk about your grind, because I think it'll be helpful for everyone.
Yeah, I think it was January, probably like mid to end January, when I realized that just coming in on the weekends and making phone calls, I just started to track the phone calls we were making and the conversion and the amount of people that we spoke to. And my weekends the connects were just ridiculous compared to the phone calls I was making during the week. So it was definitely more fruitful to come and spend 3-4 hours here Saturday and Sunday making my calls. And I could probably get done in 3 or 4 hours each day, Saturday and Sunday, what I get done all week in the regular course of the Monday through Friday.
So that's interesting, everyone. Listen up there. We talk about this all the time in crush groups about, making calls. But by the way, these are not cold calls. Brian is not cold calling agents. These are not cold calls. These are calls where he wants to connect with people, whether it's a loan he's closed, or it could be a loan in process, or it could be what we call a BIC. Those of you that have been through crush groups, a budding car, or someone that we fully docked. And he just said, I just want to repeat what he said. He said he's getting more done on Saturday and Sunday than he's getting done Monday through Friday, as far as finding and connecting with people. Is that a fair statement? That's what you said, right?
100% accurate. Absolutely.
Yeah. Which is amazing. Brian, just to give people some clarity. Your March units are going to be what?
March is at 22 right now, purchases.
And April?
April's at 13 already. And I got 5 more this morning. so I don't know what we're at now for April.
So everybody listen up. 22 purchase units in March. 22 purchase units in March, everyone. And Brian is in Boulder, Colorado. Google it. See how many houses are listed there, by the way. That is a very tight inventory market. This is due to him, pardon my French, busting ass and working smart and working really hard on the right activities. Okay. So those of you that are in those tight markets where you're doing the no inventory game, I'm letting you know it's there. You just got to go get it, and you have to go get it very, very strategically. And Brian, these purchase units are coming in from your agent partners that you've been in front of relentlessly, correct?
Relentless. B2Bs nonstop, parties, dinners, phone calls, just relentless. Yeah.
And I was last week and the week before, where was I? Oh, Kinchlo's on here. I was with Kinchlo a couple of weeks ago in Connecticut. And these agents, literally, they're getting 30 calls a day from loan officers. A day. And some of these loan officers, and I'm sorry if I offend anyone on this call, are using dialers that are calling these agents. Hi, I'm so-and-so with so-and-so. So-and-so would like to meet with you on Thursday. I'd like to set up an appointment for him. These agents are cracking up at those phone calls, people. I don't care if you've made a couple of those appointments. These agents think that is completely asinine, that you are having someone else call them. Let me tell you what else is asinine. calling someone you don't know and asking them to go to lunch. Again, you may as well get a white panel van and a clown suit and pull up to a school. Okay, that's how freaky it is to these agents. When you go, hi, I'm so-and-so with so-and-so mortgage. Want to go to lunch? Who are you? Click. They don't care. Okay, you're missing the whole beginning of what's going on. So Brian, give everyone some nuggets on tell us what your day looks like. I know you're super regimented on what you do. You can leave off the 3 a.m. workout. You can leave that off. But Brian, what do you I know your day is very scheduled. And I know you always have B2Bs every day, but what are the core activities that you're doing right now that are paying off?
Let's see. So I actually for quite a while I've been trying to schedule 2 B2Bs every day. So I try and schedule an 11 a.m. and a 1 p.m. I started doing that because my goal was to do 5 B2Bs a week. And I realized if I scheduled 5 1 p.m. B2Bs, like 3 of them would cancel and I end up with 2, and I wasn't getting done the amount of B2Bs I wanted to. So I started scheduling B2Bs at 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. because, with realtors, half of them are going to cancel anyway. So I'm at least getting still my 5 B2Bs a week done. So that's the first thing is I'm always on the hunt in my phone calls for the next B2B for someone that we're working with or looking at. When's the last time I met with them? Has it been a month? Do I need to meet with them again? So that's a big part of it. And then, Brian,
just real quick. So that's 4 hours a day of business building activity, face to face, people. I'm not going to get deep into explaining a B2B exactly because that's a 2 or 3 hour explanation, but a belly to belly is breakfast, lunch, or dinner with an agent. Coffee does not count. People that work with me are not allowed in coffee shops, period. So coffee doesn't count. It's fast and impersonal. And so just to quickly tell you what Brian means by that is the simplest way is Brian is spending 4 hours a day doing biz dev in person, not on his phone at his desk. He is physically in front of someone where he can develop a new relationship or deepen an existing one 5 days a week, 4 hours a day. Okay, that's massive. That's massive. And that's the reason he closed 22 loans in March. I can tell you right now, that's the reason, because I have met some of Brian's agent partners. I know how nasty the inventory is there. I have heard them complaining. So that is massive market share. Brian, it'd be interesting to see what the market share was for the month, and how many loans closed in Boulder. What else besides the B2Bs, Brian? When you're in your office, tell them what you're doing. What are you following up on? Tell me what you're doing.
Yeah. So in the office, I have zero time calendar appointments. So I take my our current clients and I always put them in. I start them once they close. I do my first call now 4 months after they close. So I'm doing, I have like 17 CC calls, I call them today, that I have to get done. If my lunch appointment's far, I'll take an Uber lunch appointment and I'll make those phone calls in the back of the Uber as well. So that's just checking in with the current client database. And then I have our PP phone calls and our BIC phone calls, and those are kind of sprinkled in throughout the week, depending on where we're at in the process with them. Just checking in with them, asking them how their home search is going, if they have any mortgage questions for us, or if their documents are getting ready to expire, looking at what's going to expire and requesting new documents from them so that we can really get the full approval updated. So yeah, I would say the bulk of the phone calls are agents that we're working with, current clients, PPs, BICs.
So Brian, how many BICs do you have right now? Ballpark.
Oh, about 45.
Okay, so everyone that hasn't been through a crush group on here, that's 45 completely docked files, right, Mark Wilkins? Everything in the file, right, Mark? Literally everything. LOXs, large deposits, those files are licked and sticked, done. Okay, so when that contract comes in, appraisal, HOI, homeowners insurance, earnest money, title work, close. That's it, close. No other conditions on those files. Those of you that have been through crush groups know all about that. I see a bunch of crush group people on here right now, and you people know all about that. That is key in this market. It's very hard to tell your agent partners, write a 10-day close. Again, I understand you New York people can't do that, but write a 10-day close unless you have a licked and sticked file. Most people on this call have had some type of rifts at their company, and you don't even have enough people to run around and clean up your mess. Therefore, there should be no mess if you want to close that fast. Brian, Laz, you're cracking me up. Brian, tell me, as far as state of mind, your agent partners, what type of state of mind are they in right now? Are they starting to come out of the haze of, that the complaining haze and digging in? The agents I'm talking to across the country are starting to whisper, I have listings coming on. I have listings coming on. I have listings coming on. Obviously, There's all the other crap going on with the banks and, and all the news, and which usually is good for us. I mean, bad for people, but good for mortgage people. Typically, what are they saying, Brian? Talk to me about what your agent partners are saying in your market and how you're counseling them.
Yeah, I mean, I think general feedback is we just see extremely low inventory, but there's definitely more and more inventory coming to the market. The really good agents that have just been grinding through all of this, they're getting the listings, they're handling them correctly, they're listing them well. On those, we're seeing multiple offers. So depending on the condition the home is in, the price it's listed at, the location it's in, we're actually seeing more and more competitive offers. There's definitely a small element of newer people that are stressed out by this because they're just, they don't have the inventory, they don't have the buyer activity right now. They got into this a year or two ago when business was easy and they haven't been grinding at it. But the grinders right now, they're doing great. I mean, they have listings and they're doing pretty well right now.
And I would say, this in any market for, I think I heard this the first time, I don't know, 30 plus years ago. If a house is sitting on the market, it means it's either overpriced or a dog. I mean, there's just usually almost no other reason. It's overpriced or it needs work. Okay, one way or the other, or maybe it doesn't even need a lot of work. It's just what agents would call a dog. Purple shag carpeting and a disco ball in the dining room. Just something that most buyers can't see past. Like they just can't deal with it. And the seller didn't put any work into it, which again falls under needs work or is a dog. And so, Brian, are you seeing if a cherry house goes on the market, it's multiples, it's going over and it's gone in seconds?
Yeah, I just had one that we got this morning that was on the market on Friday. They paid $150K over, multiple offers, closing in 14 days.
And how many any contingencies or what contingencies were waived? I'm curious.
So we already have full loan approval. So we're doing that with our BICs now. So we were able to waive our new loan availability. So they just had new loan terms at 1 day, which is basically just meaning the buyer's okay with the rate and the terms. They waived their new loan availability because they were a true BIC. And that's it. That's all there is in there.
So home inspection?
They'll do a home inspection, yeah, but they got like 5 days to get it done.
Okay, but so that contingency was still there, though.
It's still there. I'm not seeing inspections yet to get waived.
Yeah, in some of these other markets, Brian, we're seeing already appraisal, home inspections waived already in some of these markets. I don't know. You guys can, if you have your cameras on, you can wave or give me thumbs up if you're already seeing that in your markets, because we are definitely seeing that in some of the other markets already. So this is an old school normal offer. It's a fast close, all contingencies. Obviously, you got the mortgage done, so you're able to get around that. But nothing waived yet. And have you seen anything come into you with a home inspection waived or an appraisal waived, or not?
No,
since
not yet. Not recently. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Interesting. So Brian, what would you tell people to do? In this type of market, if people are on this call and they're geezing a little bit. I mean, they're starting to lose it a little bit. They're closing one loan or two loans, and they're getting a little stressed out about that. What kind of nuggets would you give people? Maybe stay away from some acronyms that maybe they might not know.
Yeah.
What do they need to do? Should everyone be getting up earlier? Should everyone be, I'm a grinder. I mean, I'll outwork anyone. I'll just work you into the ground. And if it gets hard, I'm just going to work harder because I know that most people are soft and they're going to give up and I can just run them over personally, Is that your personal mantra? I mean, are you just going to outwork them and mow them down?
Pretty much. Yeah. I mean, well, I think two things, I learned this from the Crush Group. I never did a good job staying in touch with our current client database, which I don't think a lot of people do. So if you have time on your hands right now, calling your current client database. And I mean, I think the call you have us do is so easy. It's just, hey, Joel, this is Brian. I was just thinking about you. Call to say hello to see how you're doing. Like, we're not talking rates or anything. So I can tell you from when we started those calls, our current client new business is up like 40% total from when I started making those calls.
So those of you that are on this call right now that have been through a Crush Group and you're not doing that, shame on you in a large way. Let me repeat the number he just said, 40% up. That is a big, massive number. Kristen, you making those calls? You bad? Are you bad? You are. I like it. There she goes. She is. All right. No. And Brian, what about just staying healthy? What do you do? What do you do when you're not working? I know you work out, but what other kind of stuff just keeps your brain going?
I mean, I try and read 20 minutes a day, and I'm not a great reader. Shit, my wife could read a book in like 2 days flat. It could take me a year to read a book, so it's a struggle. but I try. And I like doing a lot of outdoor stuff. I do a lot of trail running. No cell phone, no nothing. Go super early in the morning before my phone's going to ring anyway, just to get out and clear my head and get some good exercise in. And we're living in an area where it's all really readily accessible.
So yeah, go ahead. Keep going. Sorry.
I do want to say one more thing. So another item that was really impactful for us has been growing our realtor database by picking off listing agents. And I never had great success with them until, again, from the Crush Group, the phone call was, hey, Joel, this is Brian calling on 123 or calling about the buyers on 123 Main Street. Call me 720-496-4301 and hang up. I never got calls back from listing agents before, but that message makes them call almost every time. I'm actually shocked when someone doesn't call back from that. And then cultivating the listing relationship from there. We have a high success ratio of our B2Bs after a transaction. And I hear all the time, I just had one with a mother-daughter team the other day. The lady says to me, just like you said a minute ago, I have 25 people a day calling me, and you're the only person I agreed to meet for lunch. And it all starts from that one voicemail. So the listing agents I don't think people give a lot of love the right way to listing agents.
Well,
the relationship.
Brian, it's a thing, and I can tell where a loan officer came from. It's almost like I can tell their genetic makeup when either they tell me that they hate agents, okay, or that they don't understand that their agent partners are the client. It's not the borrower. There's so many loan officers that are so teed up on their commission on the loan. They miss everything else and scorch the whole earth all around them, leaving potential relationships just gone, just away, because what they're all about is that loan and that commission on that loan. And they can't think past that. Why? I don't know. I mean, I love it for you guys because you're just mowing those agents down. I mean, they're just those LOs down. I mean, those LOs are gone. I don't know. Hey, Laz, do you have any idea on stats on LOs turning licenses in? I know there's a lot of agent stats not renewing, just because they didn't want to pay their E&O. It's a massive number. But anything on LOs, Laz? Not to put you on the spot.
About 6% in Massachusetts
have already tapped. Okay, so that's one state of Massachusetts. 6% of the LOs have tapped. That means they've handed their license in, right, Laz? They're gone, gave up, and I'm going with that number is going to go up because I'll tell you, even as inventory comes on the market, there is no room in the market for part-time loan officers messing around trying to do 2 loans a month. I'm telling you, you're going to get smash mouthed by a Brian Manning somewhere. Okay, he's going to be coming hard and fast for that one loan, and then going to build a relationship with your partner, and it's game, set, match. 227. Brian, what's the best way? Is it Brian at Brian Manning Team? What is it? If someone wants to email you?
Yeah, Brian at brianmanningteam.com.
Okay, Brian at brianmanningteam.com. Brian is with Cross Country Mortgage in Boulder, Colorado, snowy and lovely Boulder, Colorado, right now. And Brian
What's
is
the
a great
box
guy.
company? Where does he get his delivery of boxes with his name on? I know what he does with the boxes when someone gets a accepted offer.
Yeah.
All right, hold on, Laz. I got you. No. You're right. Where'd you get, Brian? Was that you, or did you get that from everyone? I take a whole bunch of loan officers once a year to New Orleans, and we do a mastermind. And we this last mastermind, there was some great flow for after close. Brian, was that your jam, or was it Sam?
Yeah.
It was you, right? Tell everyone. Tell them what the company is.
So it's called BizBox, and the website is BizBox BOX Inc. INC BizBox Inc.
And that is something that is done after the loan closes. You guys can go look. I'm looking at the time. I'm not going to go deep into that right now. But
No, it's not when the loan closes. It's when they're moved, right? It's when they're moving.
Sorry.
Yep. It's once they're under contract. Yep.
Yeah, once they're under contract. You're right, Laz. Thank you for correcting me. 100%. So, and it's pretty cool. Go check it out if you're interested. Again, it doesn't cost 2 cents. So, Brian does reinvest in his business, and you can see how that's paying off. So everyone, Brian's email, I think, is in the chat. If not, just Google him, Brian Manning. If you're friends with me on Facebook, go on my Facebook, you'll find him. You can find him anywhere if you have any questions. And Brian, I just want to sincerely thank you for being on today. It's always awesome, and I appreciate your time. And I know you had to schedule this, right in there, just coming back from a B2B. But everyone, heads up, let's go. There's no reason to have a pity party for yourself right now. Okay, game on. This is a great market. It's a great time to be a loan officer. It's only going to get better and better and better. Every day is going to get better. So if you tap out and give up, you're not going to be on that train, everyone. Okay, David Laz, no bad days. That's exactly right. Or as I just spaced out on that. Okay, everyone. See you guys later. See you in 2 weeks.